Hello everybody, happy Friday. Hope you're doing very well. Unfortunately, England couldn't quite get it over the line. As a Chelsea fan, I was very pleased to see Cole Palmer play for his customary 2 minutes and get an amazing goal. However, the one benefit of an international tournament is that it bridges the gap between seasons. And when the new season is fastly approaching, it means new football shirts. And as somebody who likes to buy them in the massive numbers, it's a very exciting but also quite dangerous time because, well, these things don't come for free. They're quite expensive. Now, what I decided to do is start on English teams, which for me, I don't collect them, so I don't feel as bad when I look at these shirts. And I've pulled out, I think it's about 13 shirts that I think look really nice that have been released already. And then as more get released, we'll start doing more videos. And then also the ones that I don't particularly like, I will highlight as well. So if you're in this video, great. If you're not, maybe it's one of the shirts I don't like. Anyway, it's all opinion based, so we'll just go from there. Let's start with Crystal Palace, Premier League team. Macron, of course, I'm starting with Macron, my favourite manufacturer. It's a very busy shirt. There's a lot going on. I like a busy shirt. Some people may not particularly care for that. It's got their traditional colours, and it's an interesting design running down the front, and it also leads all the way down to the shorts, which could be overkill. I don't collect the shorts, so I don't really particularly care. When it comes to design, I think some people might look at that and just think, oh, it's just a random... No, it's not. It's the eagle. Of course, that is associated with the club. I quite like that. I love what they've done there. I think it'll look great when you watch them on the pitch or on the TV. Next is Ipswich Town. Welcome back to the Premier League. A little bit of a throwback to when I first started getting into football. Ipswich were there. It's possible people watching this video were not even born then, which is kind of a terrifying thought. I went for the away shirt, even though I love a blue home shirt, obviously, as a Chelsea fan. I like the colour combination, the burgundy, the gold, and the blue. Umbro, doing what Umbro do, and also the pattern along the front is quite nice. It's a good shirt. Now, dropping down to the Championship, we have Blackburn Rovers, and it's Macron again, check. It's a pink shirt, check. It's got a sort of map on the front. Always love that. And they've replaced a terrible sponsor with a pretty safe sponsor. But that's all we want to see on a football shirt. I think Blackburn fans have pretty well responded quite well for this one. The home shirt's actually quite nice as well. I think the away shirt's going to be pretty simple, but you can't win them all. This is a really smart shirt. So if I was collecting English shirts, maybe it's the one. Next we have Bristol City. Not a club that you really see anywhere, at least for me personally. I've gone for their away shirt, manufactured by O'Neill's, who seem to have got a few clubs under their belt this season. And the reason why I picked this one is simply the colour. It looks like it's a vanilla or like a off-white or cream. I like that on a shirt. The only problem is, when you look at other images, it just looks white, which is what you associate with the club. You associate red and white. So depending on how it actually truly comes out, will depend whether it should be on the list or not. If it is a cream, then great. I love a good cream. I know probably most people do. If it's just white, nah, not interested. But there we go. There's definitely a chance. Next we have Leeds. You may be surprised thinking, what's Leeds doing here? And of course, now that they're owned by Red Bull, you've converted a shirt which is usually terrible into something horrific. The evil is really exuding from it. And you know what? I think that's a good thing, because when I look at this, I just think Red Bull. I don't think of Leeds. And because a shirt is making me think less of Leeds, I think that's only a win in my eyes. It's a clean Adidas template that we've seen, of course. But yeah, it's not. It's all right. Next, this is classy. This is Middlesbrough away shirt. Araya manufactured, first time we've seen them. And it's beautiful. It's such an amazing design. This one is actually inspired by the 98-99 season. And there's something about a club that wears red traditionally, but then has a blue alternative kit. I quite like it when Chelsea, of course, wear blue, but they have a little bit of red on them. Just a little bit on the trims or on the collars or something. I quite like that. I'm not saying a full-on red, but it's nice. Even Manchester United have had blue shirts. Manchester City, they've had red on their shirts. Liverpool have had... Not Everton. Okay, not every club, but most clubs, I think it's quite an interesting one, and I think this is a very classy shirt. Oh, it's Araya again. Well, here we go. Millwall Home. It's an interesting design, and it's got all these little detailing on the cuffs and along the collar. And at the bottom, you've got almost like this diamond pattern in the center. But it's not necessarily this image that caught my eye. It's the one that they actually released in the marketing. Because in the marketing, it's much more of a darker navy. It's almost black. Maybe it's just the lighting of the photography, whereas the sort of the generated image looks just more of a traditional navy. And while that's not terrible, I prefer the ones that they took in the photograph because I like that really dark blue. So again, it depends on what it looks like as to truly how I feel. Next, we drop down to League One, and it's Blackpool. And it's Puma doing Puma things. They love to throw shapes at you, all sorts of different stuff. This one's like ribbons and waves and colours. It's cool, it's interesting, it's their away shirt, so you're allowed to have a bit of fun. What I like is the sponsor. It's the Pleasure Beach. If you're not from England, it's a theme park that's based on the seafront in Blackpool. It's not the most glamorous place in the world. That's just Blackpool. But it's just also a part of English sort of culture and heritage. And also the fact that they took the photographs for the marketing at the theme park, and some of them were on the rides. I think that's great. It's classic. So, fair play to them. I think that's a smart way of doing a shirt. Next, we have Cambridge United, and this is their away shirt, and it's very, very flowery. You cannot say that they've not put some effort into the design. It's apparently inspired by water lilies across the River Cam, and also Far Eastern pottery. Maybe you're stretching it at that last one, but I think it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's Umbro again, putting a lot of time and effort to it. I think Cambridge United fans should be very, very pleased with that one. Next, we have Cambridge United third shirt. Yes, they've got 2 out of 3. The home shirts, okay, but these particularly stand out. So it's a green one, and this one's inspired by Parker's Piece, which is a common green, a green area in Cambridge that apparently was the birthplace for the rules of football. It's also covered in heraldic dolphins. That's what the pattern you see, and these are present at the bottom of a prominent lamppost which is featured in the green. So again, they've taken a lot of inspiration from Cambridge and put it onto a shirt. Now, to be honest, you could probably see these 2 shirts together and go, well, they pretty much look the same sort of thing. Well, if that's the case, if one of them looks good, then that means both of them look good. If I had to choose, I think I probably want to see them in person. I quite like the dolphins though, so maybe I'd go for this one as the third. So, but yeah, Cambridge, if you're any fans watching this, you've done very well. Next we have Stockport County third shirt. And I just went for this because I love the colour combination, the blue and the yellow. It's not something you see every day. And the reason why I thought, you know what, this stands out. I don't know if anybody remembers or knows, but do you remember like Refreshers Sweets, the wrappers? It's not a perfect match, but that's what I was getting when I saw this. A bit of red of the sponsor. I don't know. I think it's cool. Puma again, just putting a lot of shapes in there and going, have a shirt. Yeah, I think that's a pretty cool shirt. I'd get that one. Next, down League 2, and we've got Accrington Stanley. So it's Macron again. And you know what? All 3 of their shirts have got a design to them and a meaning to them, and they're all to do with Accrington. And they've actually done quite well with Macron because before that they were Adidas and they just kept getting the same design. Sometimes they'd carry them across, which is a positive in some respect, but the designs were pretty simple templates. This time, Macron have put some effort into it. And I went for the away one just because it's a little bit different. It doesn't just have a graphic on. Apparently, it's inspired by the largest Tiffany glass collection in Europe, which is based in Accrington. Not really something I would expect, but there we go. And that's what they've designed the shirt to look like. So some people might just look at it and go, whatever. But maybe they prefer the home or the third shirts. But, I thought, at least one of them has to be sort of showcase. And then finally, for this video, we're going to finish with Tranmere Rovers. So it's a home shirt, and this is just a purely classy shirt, manufactured by Mills, who they've been with for a while now. And what they're doing is celebrating 140 years, and there's some motifs on there sort of highlighting that. And also you've got a pattern, which you may or may not be able to tell from the image. It's sort of subtle in the body. I think it's just really nice. I love the detail of the collar. On the actual collar itself and the sort of the insert. It's just a nice shirt. There's a lot of actually really clean shirts across sort of the Premier League and the Football League. I'm just trying to find the ones that have a little bit of extra meaning to them. So yeah, that's it really. I mean, by the time the video is released, and possibly as the week goes on, there'll be more, because every day shirts get released. I'm going to do some stuff on European teams, because again, there's some really cool stuff and there's some pretty terrible stuff. So let's just take advantage of it and we'll just share it. Let me know what you think. Do any of these stand out to you? Are you a supporter of a club that you want me to look at specifically? And that's what we'll do, and we'll just go through it. Chelsea obviously released their home shirt, but there's no sponsor on that one, again. And the design is interesting, isn't it? It's an interesting design. Not quite sure how I feel about it right now. I'll always buy it there, so it kind of almost means nothing what it looks like. But that's for another video, I guess. So that's it. Let me know how you feel. And yeah, hope you have a great weekend ahead. And I'll see you next week with maybe a new shirt that I'll show you. Thank you as always for watching. Goodbye.